Okay, so we're going to move on from isometric perspective to one-point perspective. So remember how I was saying how in isometric there's no perspective, which means there's no vanishing points. So in the real world, like if you say you're looking down a street, and there's buildings on either side, there's buildings on either side here, and I'm the person here. If you actually go out and do it and you hold out a ruler, you'll see that like each line is actually pointing to one specific point like that, and that's called one point perspective. So in one point perspective, you'll often find in concept art it'll be used in like environment design, like if I'm in like a temple, or I'm in like a, I don't know, with like a, I don't know, like a street, or I'm looking down, at with buildings on either side, and it's things receding into the distance. So there's one single vanishing point. This line here is called the horizon line. So that's basically anything below that is on the ground, and anything above that is going to be in the air. And it's just important to know that, so it's just important to know that anything below that, we can make it seem like it's touching the ground because we're seeing the top of it. But if we're drawing, any objects that we're drawing above it, we're going to end up seeing the bottom of it. Okay. So the only rules in one-point perspective is that the lines, so if I'm drawing, we always want to start off with just drawing cubes in perspective. And it's just important to remember that the lines are either completely horizontal, completely vertical, or vanishing. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so what we're going to do, you guys can just watch first. What we're going to do is draw a line straight through the middle of the page, and we just want to call that the horizon line. So HL for horizon line. So this is basically the end of the earth. And then we want to put a dot in the middle, and that's going to be our vanishing point. So I would then want you guys to draw very lightly, just draw rays going through, just a whole bunch of rays going through that vanishing point there. So these are going to be basically our construction lines like that. Okay, so we're drawing a whole bunch of rays going through there. Okay, so let's start off by just constructing a cube in one-point perspective. So remember what I said, that every line, so if I'm drawing a cube, it's going to be completely vertical, completely horizontal, or the line is going to be eventually vanishing to the vanishing point. So the first thing to draw a cube is we basically just draw a square. So that's completely horizontal, not vanishing anywhere. This one's going to be completely vertical, and this is going to be completely horizontal. Okay, so now if I want to make it as if that block is receding, I can vanish these. I can take the corners and I can just vanish them to the vanishing point. Then how thick this cube is, I can decide that. So let's say I want it to be like that thick. Okay, from here I'll draw a horizontal line to where this line intersects with the horizontal line. I can make a dot there, and then I can just join these dots here. So I want to bring this vertical line up to where it hits the line that's being vanished from this corner, and I can just join these lines here like that. Okay, so that's how we construct cubes in one-point perspective. And you'll notice, like let's say if I draw a cube way off, if I draw a cube really close here, it's going to look different, like where it is, based on where it is according to the vanishing point. So, if I'm vanishing these lines here, it's going to look a lot different than if I draw another cube that's like flat, you know, and it's way below. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is I would encourage you guys to just explore, like draw cubes all over the place, like all over the, you know, like all over the show, to try and see what it looks like, you know, from different in the different places. Okay, does that kind of make sense, eh? So far, yeah. Okay, so you guys can just draw a whole bunch of cubes. Okay guys, I want to just quickly show you how to make a circle in 1 point, or how to make a cylinder in 1 point. So we can start off, you can literally just start off by measuring. So I'm going to make like a 3 by 3 circle. So let's go 3 by 3 by 3. Okay, and remember, like each corner, you want to vanish each corner to the vanishing point. The reason it's called 1 point perspective is because there's one vanishing point. Okay, so remember how I showed you in isometric how to divide a circle, like, you know, by putting the X in there, then the plus, then doing the dots, then dividing in half, and then in half again. We're going to do that same thing over here. So I want you guys to just practice this as well. So we can draw a cross through here. Okay, and then that's going to be completely vertical, completely horizontal. And I can just join these dots here. There. Remember, this one's going to be in half again. That's going to be in half again, half again, half again. Okay. Okay, and then how thick this cylinder is, I can decide that. Okay, so I'm drawing a vertical line there, and I'm drawing a horizontal line there. And remember, in order to draw the circle on that side, I need to see the back plane. I need to see what it looks like, or like how big it is. Because remember, in isometric, when things were receding, they weren't getting smaller. So that's the point that I'm trying to communicate here, is like, you know, this is isometric, so things are not getting smaller. They can infinitely go like this. When there's a vanishing point, it means literally the object starts to vanish, you know, as it goes further back. So if this cube was like that long, it would be really small at the back there. So it's just important to note that. So then we can do the same exercise of drawing the X through there, then the plus. Okay, we can join the dots there, half again, half again. Okay, we can see what this looks like at the back. And then from its furthest edge to its next furthest edge, you can join it there, fill that in, and we can you can press hard when you're sure that that's what it looks like. Okay, so I just want you guys to practice drawing a cylinder or two in 1 point.